Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Intel's AI chips are far behind Nvidia and pretty much the whole competition. Now, this is as the AI boom is one of the biggest booms in business we've seen in decades, with basically being the fountain of youth for technology. I mean, it is to many people magical, and capabilities, they are pretty impressive, and they have many use cases. There are still some limitations to it for now until it takes over. I'm only partially jest. Now this comes to us thanks to Sean Hollister, who works at The Verge, which he says, quote, NVIDIA's gaudy AI chips, and that's actually what they're named, it's not like gaudy awful, though I guess for this example it might as well be, says their gaudy AI chips are far behind NVIDIA and AMD, won't even hit 500 million goal. AI is already billions or tens of billions to other chip makers, not necessarily Intel, which, yeah, wind back the clock a couple decades ago, Intel was the OG processing company for design, manufacturing. They did some fantastic stuff. And lately, they've had some whoopsies with things breaking left and right. Now, here you see one of those ginormous Intel god-awful chips. Now, he says, quote, NVIDIA made a fortune during the AI boom. AMD's rival AI chip became the fastest ramping product in its history, already putting $1 billion per quarter and inspiring AMD to remake itself as an AI company too. But Intel, which is suggested it would pull in $1 billion, even $2 billion on the back of AI in 2024, says it won't even meet the modest 500 million goal for the gaudy AI accelerator this year. Which, yeah, talk about disappointing your shareholders. You're telling them, oh yeah, we might hit $1 billion, you might even hit $2 billion. Yeah, we ended up hitting 500 million, which yeah, that's abysmal to say the least. And debatably, we'll see if they even make a profit on that. Because again, there's a lot of research, a lot of development, and a lot of actually retooling to make these things. Now, their CEO, Pat Gelsinger, says, quote, we will not achieve our target of 500, well, not even get there. Wow. We will not achieve our target of 500 million in revenue for Gaudi in 2024. Ouch. As during Q3 earnings call, they also said, though Intel just launched its recent Gaudi X3 accelerator this past quarter, the overall uptake of Gaudi has been slower than anticipated as adoption rates were impacted by the production of transition from Gaudi 2 to Gaudi 3 and a software ease of use. Which, yeah, that's not smart either. Product transition. Despite the missed goal, Geisinger says we remain encouraged by the market available to us. It's clear we need for solution. It is a clear need for solutions with superior total cost of ownership based on open standards, and we are continuing to enhance Gaudi value proposition. Later on the call, Gillinger seemingly had some sour grapes to share, pointing out how so far the industry huge spend on AI chips has been focused on training AI models in the cloud. Quote, training is creating the weather model, not using it, suggesting once again that putting AI into all the chips, not just one in the cloud, might be more important in the long run. Intel reported $13.3 billion in revenue in quarterly earnings, down 6% year over year, but up compared to last fiscal quarter, and losses of a whopping, $16.6 billion. Ouch. While those losses were based on $18.5 billion of impairments and restructuring costs, the cost of Intel's decision to rework itself for profitability in the future. Someday. Maybe. Last quarter, it announced a $10 billion cost reduction plan with over 15,000 layoffs and is now detailing some structural shifts inside the company too, including moving its edge computing business into its client computing group that generally handles its desktop and laptop chips and integrating its software teams into the company's core business units. Gellinger says Intel will focus on fewer products and its top priority will be to maximize the value of our x86 franchise across client, edge, and data center markets, which x86 is the common architecture for data center for servers, which, again, remember, there's no such thing as a cloud. It's just someone else's computer, which in these cases, it's someone else's data center because a lot of companies don't even have their own servers these days. But at the end of the day, there's a data center somewhere where the Facebook lives. Although, realistically, Facebook owns a lot of the infrastructure, but you get what I'm trying to say. And yeah, Intel used to be one of the most dominant, respected technology companies on the planet. I mean, there's a time when AMD looked like they were going out of business, which used to be, barely a competitor. And thanks to, I would attribute a lot of it to the newer CEO, Sue, over at AMD, past couple of years, have really turned that company around, where they're winning left and right in the consumer section and the data center, which, again, is a lot of the revenue comes from. A lot of the profitability comes from these larger data center sales, where businesses spend more on tech than individuals. And it's just, yeah, you're not making money on AI, the biggest boom in tech, and you're not executing to even get 500 million when they were projecting 1 to 2 billion. I gotta say, Intel, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.